I feel so relaxed.
It is a relaxing episode here.
Recharged.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Give us a little intro.
No, it's your intro.
Oh, you're right. Hello, I'm Jacob Bellotti, joined as always by the very comfortable.
Oh, so comfortable.
The rejuvenated.
Oh, so rejuvenated.
The wonderful Larry Saperstein. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm deeming this one of our first of probably many cozy episodes.
Yes.
Because I do not feel like raising my voice.
No.
I do not feel like speaking loudly.
No.
I don't want to shout.
No.
I just want to enjoy my rejuvenating and relaxing vacation.
Well, let's get right into it because it's time for a brand new episode of Let's Talk About That.
All systems are a go.
Talking database activated.
Begin in 3, 2, 1.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about what? Let's talk about who? Let's talk about me. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about that.
Girl, I cannot believe we are talking about that.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Let's talk about that.
I just want to be clear, cozy does not mean low energy.
No, it does not.
Okay, it just means low intensity.
Maybe I'll judge people a little less than normal today.
Yeah, that would be a treat.
Yeah, I hope the video is recording, by the way. Is our producer on that right now?
Yeah, I'm there. They should be going.
Okay.
Do you want me to double check?
I just didn't know if that was something that happened. Oh, Larry's walking away. He's checking things. Oh, they're going. Okay. He's sitting back down. That was a live
We
commentary.
flew in Jerome for this just to check.
Well, obviously, if you're watching us on video, you have noticed that we are not in the spot we normally are.
No, we have moved locations.
That's right. We are currently sitting in my mother's basement.
Hello, New Jersey. You know, for the amount of times we have talked about New York and New Jersey, it took us 14 episodes, but we are here.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we are recording live in New Jersey, America at the moment.
You know, actually, our very first episode, we talked extensively about this home and this basement.
That's right. And actually, if you were a fan of my original podcast, Road Boys,
Whoa.
you are very familiar with this basement because I did quite a few episodes from this basement.
That's incredible. Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know you did an episode upstairs.
We did. We did record an episode upstairs, but I mostly was recording down here, when we did virtual recordings. But it's crazy. We have been on vacation now for almost a week.
Mm-hmm. And we have a week and a half left to go.
It's been unbelievable. We've seen the sights. We've seen the sounds. We're going to get all up in that. But right now, we are sitting in my mother's basement. We may be a little quieter than normal.
Well, we don't want to wake the family.
That's right. We're doing a late night recording.
Okay, this is actually something I realized. We very rarely record at night.
Very rarely.
Like almost every time we've recorded, it's been during the day because it's just like we like to be high energy on this show.
Yeah.
And it's so much easier to be high energy and we feel like comfortable being a little bit louder, you know, just in general when we can record during the day. Also, when we have guests, it's easier to schedule with a guest during the day than at like 10 p.m., you know?
Right.
But
because they're usually working late because they're a singer.
Right. You know, of course. Mm-hmm. So we catch them before they go to work.
Right.
And it's, you know, it's just a different energy recording late at night.
Yeah. You know, I got to say, I don't mind it. I do feel a lot more relaxed than normal.
It's true.
Normally,
I do too.
I'm like, blah, 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 you know, but like now I
or
feel
as
like,
Dara says, brew, brew, brew. That's one of my favorite sound bites from that episode. She's like, you guys are like, brew, brew, brew.
That's right. And Dara's episode will have come out at this point.
Oh, Dara's episode will be out into the world.
Wow. And then next week, I don't want to spoil anything, but we have a phenomenal guest for you next week. That's going to be...
We have a phenomenal New York talent.
That's right.
Lined up
We do. We do. We're going into the city to record that one. So that'll be really fun. So make sure you tune in next week for that. What else is going on? The Democratic Convention was this past week.
Oh, let me tell you, I felt inspired.
Oh.
Miss Kamala.
I felt hopeful. I am part of the Kamala phenomenon. I am here for it, honey.
Yeah. And, we don't want to get too into politics here, but this is common sense politics, really, up in the Let's Talk About That pod.
We're not delusional, so we do support Miss Kamala Harris,
yes. Honey. Really, truly, it is just nice for the first time in 12 years to see a presidential nominee that is behaving like a president.
Yes, I 100% agree.
I mean, and no shade to Biden, but he wasn't.
He took his Geritol before every speech, girl.
He just wasn't up for the challenge anymore. And I just, seeing her take that podium and deliver that speech and talk about her life and talk about her policy.
Oh my God.
Someone say policy.
I mean, policy on a political program. Unbelievable.
It just gives me hope for what this country can become. And I feel like, we have this thing in America where we think that we are the best country in the whole entire world. And when you compare us to other nations, especially European nations, and, how far they have come in the last, in the 21st century, really, it's we are behind and we need to
get back on the horse, honey.
We need to, become part of the 21st century in terms of our policy. And I think there's no better person to do that than Miss Kamala.
That is right. We are not going back.
We are not going back.
We are electing a new president.
We're going
this November.
forward.
That's right. I do love comparing her to Selena Meyer. That is one of my favorite pastimes.
She has all the funny parts of Selena Meyer, and I hope none of the terrible parts of Selena Meyer.
Maybe a couple, but who cares?
Yeah, she really is
it's better than the fucking last one we had.
Oh,
so let's be real.
Absolutely.
Okay. Oh, here's another thing that happened to us right before we went on vacation. We went to a concert.
Yes. Well, we did tease this in our last episode.
Yes.
We went to the Guts tour, Miss Olivia Rodrigo.
Miss Rodrigo was kind enough to
have... This is the last time we talk about Olivia on this podcast.
No, but it was so nice of her to have us, first of all. Thank you to the whole Olivia Rodrigo team for having us there.
Yes.
It was a crazy experience. It was at the Forum in Los Angeles.
So much fun. We went with Dara Renee.
Yes.
Friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod, Dara Renee. That's right. She was in attendance. But it was so fun to be there with Dara, who is so magnetic, so electric. Every time I'm with Dara, every time I hang out with her, I'm just on cloud nine as well. She brings me up.
She really is a fun person to just be around.
Call me Celtic woman because you raised me up. It was so that was so much.
I wish that I understood that a little bit more than I do, because I'm not into the Celtic woman like you are.
Right. So for our fans, by the way, I have to digress into this.
Go into it.
My favorite all-female a cappella singing with violin accompaniment Irish group is Celtic Woman. They are incredible. I have loved them for years and years and years. My favorite thing about them is that they're always perfectly on pitch, unbelievable.
We love an on pitch diva.
Incredible voices. And then their costumes at every show are absolutely terrible. And I think that's so fierce. The commitment for the costumes to continually be so bad when they sound so good is just wonderful.
It's really just the juxtaposition of vocal style and no wardrobe style.
Yes, it is exactly that. And
it's electrifying.
And I really hope if you are listening or watching at Let's Talk About That pod on all platforms, that you go check out Celtic Woman after this, because my God, are they amazing.
Fierce.
But anyway, that was such a digression because we were at Miss Rodrigo's concert.
Yeah. Can I be vulnerable on the pod for a minute?
I would love for you to be vulnerable.
I'd love to have a vulnerable moment. And I want to open this up to our audience too, because I worry sometimes that when we have these like conversations about going to these events and like seeing these people, I don't know, is that interesting? Like does to the folks at home, do you find this interesting? Like, I never want it to seem like braggy or like that we're trying to show like how cool we are for meeting all these people. I think for me, it's just like a cool insight into like how the entertainment world works, and for people that are maybe interested in that, they can come to our podcast and like learn a little bit more about the behind the scenes stuff. Like, what do you think?
Well, when we set out to do this podcast, I took it as a commitment to just kind of talk about our lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, we're obviously a gay couple, and like,
wait, you're gay?
Yeah, honey, am I gay? Honey, I'm a maypole. But we're a gay couple, and we work in the entertainment industry. Both of us do.
Yeah.
And our lives are just kind of filled with events like these. Like I'm not talking about these events to be like, oh my God, well, I just worked with Glenn Close, like, it's like, that's not like what I'm doing here. Like, I'm coming on here to just talk about our lives. These are the things that happen in our lives.
Yeah.
And, I think it's just like fun to sit and chat with you about it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think it's good to kind of clear that up, because I think especially when we just take some things out of context on social media and we post little clips here and there, we post the exciting things. Like we pick the things that are like the most fun people to talk about, to kind of grab the attention of maybe new viewers and stuff. And I do forget, I see the social media clips a lot, but I don't see the full episodes a lot. Maybe I'll listen to one of our episodes all the way through, maybe once, maybe twice, but I see the little 30-second clips over and over and over again. And that is a good reminder. Like, it really is about our life and the things that we're doing.
That's what we set out to do. We're talking about that, honey.
Yes.
That's the whole point.
And that is Olivia Rodrigo's Guts Tour.
That's right. That's right. Wow. So I had never been to an Olivia Rodrigo show before.
Yeah. Can you believe this is my fourth?
Oh my God. That was a lot. That experience was a lot.
Yeah. What did you think about the fans? I told you, I warned you.
I don't think you did, because of what you made it sound like based on your previous experiences is that we would be like in a sectioned off area, like in the back.
In the back? I never said we would be in the back.
No, you did. You said we'd be in the back, and then right before she goes on, we would go
backstage,
like sit in seats, and that way
it's different
like
for every venue.
Right, which I wasn't fully prepared for, because when we walked into what we, thought was like the back, it was filled.
Right. Well, and then here's what I
teenagers.
learned. We were in the VIP area. That was the thing. They had us going into the VIP area, but because we were seeing a show in LA, it was every industry person's children.
Yeah. It was a lot. A lot of people wanted pictures.
Yes.
And I think that's wonderful. I think that's great. What I didn't like so much, maybe I'm being controversial, but it's
it's okay.
When we're sitting and the concert's about to start, I don't think that's the time to queue up for a picture. I think that's when you go to your seat and get ready to see the headlining act that's about to come on the stage.
Yeah.
I'm okay if people come up for pictures while we're, in the back or like well before the concert starts, but like literally like she was about to go on and people were queuing and running still to get pictures.
And I'm not gonna say that I don't enjoy taking pictures. I actually love taking pictures with people. I love meeting everybody that loves the show. And
I like when they introduce themselves. Here's a good PSA for any fans. If you run into us on the street or Larry or any scenario, come up and say, "Hi, my name is. It's nice to meet you." Let's start with that, because the number of people who come up and just say, "Can we get a picture?" It's like, I don't know your name. If I know your name and you like introduce yourself, I think that's much nicer.
Yeah, I think that's a lot to expect of someone who is like 12 or 13 years old.
Okay, but some of these people were not 12 or 13.
Some of them were not, but I think about like
some of them were 65, girl.
65?
Yeah. Some of them
there was
were,
like one older guy, right?
Like you should be able to say your name to us.
Yeah. Well, I just, it really, I'm being honest here, it really doesn't bother me really all that much, especially because how often am I in a space like that where there's a lot of people that want to picture me? And we were also with Dara, who just had a big movie come out, and also Dara loves it. She loves taking pictures with
Dara
people.
was like, hey, like waving.
She kept looking at me like, I love this.
She was fucking Princess Diana.
Yeah, I know. It was fierce.
It was hilarious.
Fierce. But it really does not bother me, and I really enjoy it. And I mean, I get what you're saying, but I try to put myself in.
No, I guess I understand that. I guess I'm just saying, like, that was my first time experiencing that type of thing.
Right.
Because normally I'm just like a behind the scenes person.
Yeah. And like we've gone to a few events before, but they're like premiere events or like social events. There's not a lot of like fans at those events.
Yeah, that's not like a fan event necessarily. It's just I just it was my first foray into that side of things.
Yeah, totally.
Which, that was very interesting. But it is nice to see how many people love the show and love, and everything.
Yeah, and like I said, like I try to think about if I was 13 years old and I've watched this show and I see somebody that I've seen on TV and a show that I love, it's like they're probably so nervous just to even say anything.
That being said, like, always come up to us.
Oh, yeah.
Like 100%.
Never be nervous to talk to me. I really love every single person that I get to meet. And, I'm so honored that people are like inspired by High School Musical, and I hope that they're inspired by Let's Talk About That.
Let's talk about that,
and
honey.
So, if you're a fan of this show and you see us on the street, come say hello.
I mean, we are very kind, approachable people.
Hello.
Like we are, The only thing I was saying is I just wish people would introduce themselves, because that way I feel like I'm having a conversation as opposed to like, picture,
totally.
Like I like that. I like the conversation.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm here for a rousing conversation.
A rousing conversation with a 12-year-old.
Yes. Oof. Don't say it that way.
An intellectual conversation.
Okay. Well, we'll move on quickly from that to the actual show itself.
So now that you've seen the show, the Guts Tour, did you have a favorite song?
I like the Good For Us.
Good for you.
Good for you. That's it. Yes. Good for you. I like that one quite a lot. I thought that was really fun. I thought, like, she was good on stage. I thought that was fun. She was like trying to interact with the audience and everything, which I thought was nice. I like when she went up on the little moon.
I love the moon. I loved
the moon.
You better sing on that moon, Olivia.
Oh my God. The moon was great.
It's just so fierce for me because, I mean, this was my fourth time seeing her, and I saw the Sour Tour, which was on a much smaller scale. She didn't have all the bells and whistles. It wasn't an arena show. It was in like theaters. And she's grown so much as a performer. I remember her being so nervous to do those first like live shows, and now she is so much more comfortable on stage, and she's so much more excited to perform, and you can really see that. And so I love seeing her like grow and find more ways to engage with fans and the audience like while she's on stage.
Yeah, it was a tight show for sure.
And I think the Moon is so cool because it really like she gets way more up close and personal with everybody. And like when I first saw that Moon, I was like, oh, she's a pop star. I was like, they got her flying over the audience, pop star moment.
Now here's my only critique.
Okay.
I want to see some aerial acrobatics. I want her to pink it up. I want her like doing flips like up to the top and back.
No one can pink better than Pink.
That's true, but you know, you never know until you try.
Yeah, but I think she would have to do a lot of aerial classes.
That's true.
Now, when you saw Pink and she was flying around.
I did. I saw her at SoFi Stadium in 2023.
Okay, tell me about the flying. Like, how much was she flying?
She was flying a lot.
A lot.
So they have, well, first of all, she does different types of flying, right?
Okay.
So like at the beginning, she flies in from above.
Like that's how she makes her first entrance?
Yeah, she like comes down from
fierce.
the top of a big thing that's on the stage.
Whoa.
And then like throughout the show, they raise her up in the harness and she does like flips while she's singing on the stage.
Okay.
And she'll like fly to different set pieces that are on the stage.
Okay.
And then the ending song is the So What, you know, so
Oh, that's the finale.
Yeah, that's the finale. And she flies across the entire arena,
Superhero.
like to the upper deck, to the lower deck, all the way around the entire. And that was SoFi fucking Stadium, which is ginormous.
Yeah, and when she does that, does she like land on little platforms throughout the audience?
Yes, she lands on platforms and then she launches even further up. It's crazy. It was really a sight to behold. And she went right by us. I have a video. We'll post it in our carousel this week.
Yeah.
Pink going right by us.
See, that is cool because she gets kind of like FaceTime with every single. How close do you think she was, really?
She was about, I would say, like 30 feet away from us.
That's kind of fierce.
Yeah, but what was more impressive to me than like her flying around the arena was like she would do songs where she is like constantly flipping while she's singing. Like, can you imagine singing like that as you're flipping?
No, I can't.
It was unbelievable.
No, I really can't imagine.
The vocal ability on that woman to be able to be upside down and singing is mind-boggling.
It's crazy. I don't know how she needs a Dramamine.
She really is the one. Like
that's fierce.
She can perform like nobody else. To be honest.
Well, I can't wait to see some of the queens that I've never seen before, like Lady Gaga and Beyonce.
Right. That's right. We're planning to go on their next tours.
Yeah, we have to.
We'll go to Gaga and Beyonce.
It's been far too long, so I'm very excited to see those people as well and see some of the true divas perform because I just can't wait to see like some more fierce shows.
Absolutely.
But back to Olivia, because we were in the VIP section.
Okay, so I want to take this.
Okay, you
First of all, we had a great time, by the way, with Olivia. She was wonderful.
We got to see Olivia after the show.
Yeah.
We also saw one of our producers from High School Musical. Her name is Amanda.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that she was going to be there. And,
she is so funny.
Oh, she is a hoot. And then for any other High School Musical fans, Olivia Rose Keegan was there, who played Lily, the main villain of season 2. And I love Olivia Keegan.
Love her.
She is so sweet and so fun. But
she is so my vibe too. I get her.
Hello.
Like, we got each other very quickly.
But Amanda is a hoot.
Amanda really is very funny.
She's like the definition of a cool mom.
Yeah, she is. She absolutely is. There was a really funny moment when they were like waiting to take us back to see Olivia, and they like designated her to like like a lower star tier.
Yeah, like she was like we were in group B and she was in group C, which honestly really didn't mean anything.
No,
it was
it
just like the
didn't. It
order
didn't.
that you went
But
in
like
to see her.
the way we were like she was interpreting it standing there was that she got designated to a lower group.
And the thing about Amanda, not to spill too much of her tea, but like she worked with Olivia on Bizarrevark, which was the show that was before High School Musical and then High School Musical. So Amanda has known Olivia for like 12 years. And she was like, I'm in group C? Like, what is this?
It was cracking me. She's like, well, I guess I'll go to the bathroom
because I have so much time before I see Olivia. Fuck this shit.
Dara's like, they sent her to the back of the bus, girl.
Yeah, it was a very, very silly, fun catch up with people.
Oh, God.
Okay,
yes.
but take it away. Take away your story.
So, some of you who are loyal listeners of this podcast know that in the very first episode and in subsequent episodes since that first episode, I've mentioned my dream guests on this show. And one of those is the incomparable Sutton Foster. And the other one was a character actress, Kathryn Hahn.
Also incomparable.
Very incomparable in everything that she does. And so lo and behold, we walk into the Forum Club and we are going, I think we were on our way to the bathroom because we had to pee.
And it was much more crowded than we had anticipated, like we said. And
it was a little like overwhelming, kind of a lot. And
we're weaving our way through the crowds, like to the bathroom.
I hear Larry say, "Is that Kathryn Hahn?"
No, I said, "That's Kathryn Hahn." I knew exactly who it was.
And I turned around, and standing right there was Kathryn Hahn. I could not believe it.
I mean, it was kind of fierce.
She sat 2 rows from us.
2 rows in front
during
of
the concert.
us.
Honestly, if you really want to talk about my concert experience watching Olivia, I was not watching Olivia so much as I was looking over to make sure Kathryn Hahn was having a good time.
And let me tell you, Kathryn Hahn was having the time of her life at the Olivia Rodrigo concert. She knew every word.
She knew every word. And she was having a wonderful time. And that's what I was watching more than the concert itself, was making sure Kathryn Hahn was having a good time because she is a goddess.
Absolutely.
A warrior.
Absolutely.
Diva,
goddess diva, mother of all time.
Mother of all time. And I had to make sure she was doing okay.
Yeah.
And so then after the concert, when we went to the waiting area for Olivia's guests or whatever, Kathryn Hahn walks up.
Yeah, and I was on lookout because you were so nervous, and I was like, I will make sure that we speak to this person.
I have worked with so many A-list celebrities, so many A-list celebrities, like in my career in the entertainment industry so far. And I do not get nervous around these people. Like I like, it does not, like, I don't get starstruck. I don't get whatever. Like, I am happy to work with them and meet with them, whatever. And it's like, but then there's this very small number of like very specific celebrities that make me incredibly nervous. And one of those is Kathryn Hahn. Another one is Miriam Margolis. And then I'd say, like, to round out that list, Stockard Channing. If I ever met Stockard Channing, I would, like, flip out.
I think it's a slightly longer list than those 3 people. You would freak out for Kylie Minogue.
Well,
you would freak out
honestly,
for...
though, I don't think I would freak out meeting Kylie Minogue.
Really?
I don't think I would.
Huh.
Because I don't freak out, like, with people like that.
Wow. So you really just like iconic character actresses.
Iconic character actresses really do it for me. And like they are my Roman
Achilles,
Empire. You know, they are my everything. And so I was so nervous when Kathryn Hahn walked over at this thing. And I was like, I was like, I don't even know what I was saying because I like my brain kind of froze, but I wanted to tell. I was like, I love you so much. I was like, and I started name dropping. This is so embarrassing. I started like name dropping like movies and like very specific because everyone's like, oh, she's Agatha and she's Marvel. I'm like, I don't care about that.
Like you were reading her IMDb.
No,
from
like
your brain.
like I was like, okay, great. Yeah, she's wonderful as Agatha. She's wonderful in the Marvels, but I don't really care about the Marvels, you know, in that way. Like, I was talking to her about Mrs. Fletcher. I was talking to her about The Holiday, where she had a minor role with John Krasinski as Cameron Diaz's like assistant. I was talking to her about Jennifer Barkley in Parks and Recreation. I was talking to her like literally like the very specific details of her career. And when I said the word Mrs. Fletcher to her, she like froze for like a good 20 seconds. Jaw open, shocked that somebody at the Olivia Rodrigo concert was talking to her about Mrs. Fletcher, the HBO Max original.
And you wonder, like, you wonder how much she thinks about these roles. She's done so many roles. She's been in so many shows. I'm sure when you were talking about The Holiday, she was like, reminiscing in a way.
Well, actually, I was talking to her about The Holiday while we were taking the picture because I didn't even think to ask for a picture. I was just I just wanted to like profess my love to her and tell her how much I enjoy her, you know, in every context that I've ever seen her in.
And this is why you have the best boyfriend ever.
This is why I have the most wonderful life partner of all time.
Because I said, can we take a picture?
Yes, yes. And so as we were taking pictures with her, I mentioned The Holiday and she got extremely happy about that, and she actually had a wide open smile in the picture because of that, and we'll post that picture on our Instagram at Let's Talk About That Pod.
Now, the picture with Kathryn Hahn is one of my favorite pictures probably of all time.
Oh, it's my lock screen.
Because we are like cackling with this person and it looks like we are long lost friends. It looks like we went to this concert together and we were just having a ball with Miss Kathryn Hahn.
It really
because
does.
She has like it's just one of those like actiony photos.
Like our
where we're all
outfits
like
matched. Like the vibe was right. We all had the same passes.
Yes, we had the same.
It looked like a group of like old friends reuniting at some event, and it is really funny to me.
It was really fierce.
But listen, Kathryn, I love you. Thank you so much. Like she was unbelievably kind to give us some of her time when she was obviously there, you know, with her daughter and having like, you know, their experience. But like it was unbelievably kind of her to just like stop and take a couple minutes to chat with me.
And then when she left, she walked by us and was like, "Bye guys."
That is a class act.
Yes, that is
a
classy woman.
You know, very demure.
Very demure.
Very mindful.
Very
cutesy. All of it.
Yes.
That is a class act.
She is demure. She is brat.
And
she is everything.
And you know, I've never had an experience. Well, I have had an experience with celebrities being like fucking assholes. But like I have not had an experience with a celebrity that I was a big fan of being a fucking asshole. Right. Like any celebrity I've met that I was a big fan of, it was like this when I met like Conan O'Brien and like some other people, but like they have been like lived up so hard to my expectations that I like love them even more, you know?
Well, I think also part of like who you are, you're kind of you gravitate towards celebrities that have this like regular person quality about them.
That's true.
Like you really love celebrities that maybe didn't become big celebrities until like later in life.
Yeah.
That like had a relatively normal upbringing, you know, that are really just kind of like everyman people.
Yes.
And a lot of them didn't experience, you know, maybe they were working actors or they were working in the entertainment industry for a long time, but they didn't experience like major stardom until their 30s or 40s. Like, I don't think you gravitate towards people that except for Kylie Minogue, that were like big stars in their like teens and 20s,
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Like I always think I'm a fan of people who I think seem like cool people to know,
Yeah.
and it's like, and it's also, I've never given a shit about like celebrity as like a thing. Like when I met you, I had no clue who you were.
Yeah. Yeah. You say that every chance you get. You say it every chance you get.
I'm sorry. I really don't. I don't do that. But like, I liked you because of the person you were.
Yeah.
Like, we had a good tea time the first night that we met. You know, like we were out at the club, like with the girls, having a good time. And I just really liked your personality. And then like it was I don't even think I found out you were famous until like the end of that night. When you like said, "Oh, let's follow each other on Insta," and then you pulled up your Instagram and you had like a bunch of followers, and I was like, well,
yeah, I don't remember.
I was like, "Huh, I guess he like has fans or whatever."
Well, you're just a phenomenal judge of character. You're a phenomenal judge of character.
God,
you gravitate towards people that are incredible people.
Oh, this self-serving garbage that we are putting on this podcast, honey.
I don't think it's self-serving at all.
Okay.
I just told you that you are a great judge of character. I think that is a wonderful compliment.
Great.
Now you compliment me.
All right, we'll be right back with more Let's Talk About That right after this. And we're back.
We are back, Iana.
Back, Iana, honey. So right after Olivia's concert, we basically hopped on a plane at LAX with a dream and a cardigan.
Yeah.
We hopped on the plane at LAX.
Yeah.
That's
so we went the opposite direction of Miley.
Yes. We did not take the Miley track. And
I don't know why I was so anxious for this like travel experience. Like getting packed, getting ready to go. It was like a lot because we were out late and then we had a full day, but our flight was so early. I like kind of never want to do it again.
So the flight was at 6 a.m., but like we got up and like we got up at 3 a.m.
Yeah,
to go
we had
to
to get
airport.
up at 3 a.m. And I remember the alarm went off and I was like, it's 3 a.m. We have to get up. And you were like, how 3 is it? And I was like,
did I say
3.
that? I don't remember that.
You said, how 3 is it? And I said, 3. And then you were like,
oh no.
And we had to get up and go, and like shout out to Jerome once again, coming in clutch.
Our producer Jerome has been there for us every step of the way, girl. He drove us to LAX at 3:30 in the morning.
He is taking care of the pride and joy of our life, Lawrence the cat.
I mean,
he always takes care of Lawrence the cat. He lives with Lawrence the cat.
We have left our child in the care of Jerome.
Yeah, not the first time, but
no. But I mean, shout out to
Jerome's child too, I would say.
Yeah, but shout out to Jerome that he was so incredible to take us to the airport at 3:30 a.m. And let me tell you, it's funny that you were anxious because I am always anxious for flights. I am not a good traveler. I was drugged up on clonazepam, honey. I was zonked like completely. And it's a long flight because we flew to Boston.
Yeah.
And from Boston, then we got on a bus for like an hour and a half to Cape Cod.
And thank God we caught that early bus.
Oh my God.
We thought we were going to have to wait in the airport for almost 2 hours to catch this bus, but the bus was running late.
Yeah.
The early bus was running late.
Which thank
And so
the Lord.
when we got to the place where the bus was, we thought we had missed the earlier bus, and then like 3 minutes after it was supposed to be there, it showed up.
Yeah.
And we hopped on that bus, and we shaved like 2 hours off our travel time.
We sure did, and we made it to Cape Cod, where my mom and her husband and my grandmother and my sister were all
and the dog
staying, and the dog, yes.
Milo.
And they had like rented a house, I guess, for a couple weeks, and we just were joining up for like a week.
Yeah, we were there for the last week of it.
Yeah,
last 5 days.
This was both of our first times at Cape Cod.
Yeah.
We had never been there before.
We got wonderful Cape Cod sweatshirts.
Hello. Thank you, Jed, my mother, who purchased these for us.
I think these are cute fits. I'm excited to wear this sweatshirt around.
I know, and I think I look kind of good in this sweater.
I think I look kind of good in this sweater.
You would know that if you're watching us on YouTube at Let's Talk About That Pod.
Or on TikTok or Instagram Reels at Let's Talk About That Pod.
Hello. But we had some definite favorite moments from the Cape Cod portion of the trip. I think a huge highlight for us was Martha's Vineyard.
Oh, Miss Martha and her vineyard.
Oh, wow. I had always thought that like anytime I would see someone wearing like a Martha's Vineyard or a Vineyard Vines, I was like, you pretentious fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And boy, could I have been more wrong.
Oh, I'm a pretentious asshole now.
I know. I'm going to start wearing it all the time.
Yeah. Well, I did not realize, first of all, Martha's Vineyard, not a vineyard.
No.
There's no vineyard in sight. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Thought there was a vineyard.
I really thought there would be.
I didn't know that it's an island with multiple towns on it. I thought Martha's Vineyard was just like a small little like resort on a vineyard that people go to like near Cape Cod.
I did think it was an island. Like I did think it was like
I didn't know this.
I thought it was like kind of like what's the Catalina, like what we have in Los Angeles.
Right. And I guess it is a bit.
No, it's much more than Catalina. Catalina is like just the one town of Avalon, and then it's nothing for like the rest of the island. And the island's big, and you know.
Do you think that island is bigger than the island of Martha's Vineyard?
It's not bigger, but it's not much smaller.
Okay.
But I just like you did not realize that Martha's Vineyard is like many towns spread all over. I did think it would be like one central
there's
location.
like 6 or 7 towns on the island.
And they're all so beautiful in different ways.
Yeah, it is cool that each town has its own identity.
Yes. I personally love the foresty regions, which I think was like Vineyard Haven. And
then there was another town that started with a T, but I can't remember the name of that one.
Terrytown, yeah.
Yes.
We were comparing it to Hyrule the whole time.
Well, because Hyrule is a big map with many different types of geography.
Right. But each section of it was very distinct.
Yeah.
Its own vibe, its own thing. And I have to say, I fell in love with Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah. I really liked Edgartown.
Yes, that was very pretty. Very pretty.
That's where they filmed a lot of Jaws.
Yes.
And this was a new fact for me as well. I did not know about all of Jaws being filmed on Martha's Vineyard. And as a matter of fact, I'd never seen Jaws.
Right.
So then after we went to Martha's Vineyard, I watched the movie Jaws for the first time.
That's right. You were clutching me. You were terrified.
Oh, it was adorable. It was a little scary.
It was very adorable.
Yeah.
What did you think of your first Jaws viewing?
You know, I think that there's so much to learn from the movie as someone who enjoys like filmmaking.
Yeah.
And it really is a pioneer of a lot of different techniques that we use in both filmmaking and like screenwriting. I think the script is, or at least the format of the script is very, very, very smart and has, you can really see the inspiration, that, you know, that a lot of newer movies have taken from that kind of format. I think that if the exact same movie was made in the exact same way today, people would think it was bad.
Oh, they would hate it.
But for like what it is and for when it was made and all of the things that it overcame to be the movie that it is and all of the things that it has inspired, it is a pretty remarkable, you know, film.
Yes, I 100% agree with that. I think it has pacing that was very common of movies of the time.
Yeah, but I
it's
actually
not,
think I don't mind the pacing. I think the pacing is smart.
I like it. I prefer it actually, but modern films do not pace movies that slowly. Modern films, it's boom, bang, bang, action, action, action.
I think it's so smart how, the first 45 minutes or so of the movie, you see this town and all these people and whatever, and all the different, people that are involved in getting these 3 people on the boat. And then the rest of the movie, that last really hour of the movie, that whole second half of the movie, they're on that boat and it is just those 3 characters.
Right.
And it's so smart, like getting 3 characters from different worlds in a space together, pushing them and having them be isolated and solving a problem together. And like you see them come together and then you watch them overcome something together. Like it's just really smart screenwriting, and you can see like the inspiration for Jurassic Park and many other like action adventure movies.
Like even recent films like Nope, like it's basically a direct
cringe. Which I also haven't seen. But
you haven't seen it?
No, I didn't see that because I knew I hadn't seen Jaws and I thought that I would be too scared. But maybe I'll watch it.
You know what? You probably would have been too scared because there was like a lot of jump scares in that movie that are like
I don't love
very
jump
out of
scares.
nowhere. And lots of blood in that movie. Too.
In Nope?
Yeah, there's a lot
about
of blood.
aliens?
It actually rains blood at one point.
I don't enjoy that.
Yeah, but
even Jaws was like a little bit too much in the blood. And,
I know.
guts.
I know you don't like that stuff, but I do think Nope was kind of a direct print of Jaws,
yeah,
just
they were
with
pretty,
an alien instead of a shark.
Yeah, they were pretty like honest about that. They were pretty open about that, I think.
Yeah, it's like building the suspense of not really seeing it until
it's time to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like the climax of the movie.
Yeah.
But
Martha's Vineyard.
Oh my God.
But it was cool to watch the movie and then see like all the locations where they filmed. Even though it was 50 years ago, you're seeing all these locations that we drove by, and we had like a little tour guide that was telling us all the different locations on the island where they filmed Jaws.
Yes.
So then when we saw the movie, we were able to like point out those.
We were like, oh, that was that. Oh, that.
Yeah,
was
there's
that.
like there's a bridge that bridge where the shark attacks the young boy, or almost attacks the young boy.
Yes.
That we drove like over that bridge, and it's like a very famous bridge. Like
people
they call
were
it,
jumping off of it.
Yeah, they call it the Jaws Bridge.
Yeah.
Like in the town, and I thought it was cool. In the town of Edgartown, there was a small movie theater that played like different, movies, as movie theaters do.
That is the general definition of a movie theater.
What I mean is they weren't playing like blockbuster movies. They were playing like movies of their selection.
The cinema.
Yeah, and they clearly have like Jaws playing every night. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's a big part of the culture there, because I think it really put Martha's Vineyard like on the map.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Obama lived there. Hello.
I mean, we sort of drove past Obama's house,
Yeah,
but
that was-
I wanted to get a little closer.
I know, I did too.
I was a
but,
little frustrated.
the Secret Service could come for us. if
That's
we
true.
got closer.
That's true.
I adored that we went by where Obama has a residence.
Yeah.
So there you go. There were other things. So we were mainly staying in a town called Hyannis, which is where the Kennedy compound is.
Yes,
which
we
we
watched
walked
that
to
too.
see. By the way, let me just say this one time on this podcast.
Please.
If you support Robert Kennedy Jr., if you now endorse Trump because he endorsed Trump, you are a fucking loser. Okay? They found a dead worm in this man's brain.
That is disgusting.
No, they didn't find a dead worm in his digestive tract. They didn't find it in his esophagus. They found it in his brain.
Ew.
He had a dead worm in his brain, and you are going to take what he says at face value? Do some research.
What was the thing about the vaccines and polio?
Oh, he caused the polio outbreak in whatever. I can't remember what country it was now, and I don't want to get it wrong.
Oh my gosh.
But But my God.
Because he limited like their vaccine accessibility.
Yes, and he actively campaigned against it. And caused the death of thousands of people.
Thank God that he will not be our president in the era of COVID.
No, my God.
If you're not vaccinated, go get vaccinated.
Jesus Christ. I mean, we're saying like such basic PSAs here.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting to a point where I'm so tired of this that I just like, I want to say it once and I don't want to say it again. Like,
yeah. And we were like in Kennedy country, but it is weird because it was very divided because, you know, they had like such an allegiance to the Kennedys because it's like where the Kennedys are from.
But also most people there were like, these people are fucking idiots.
Yeah. And like, so there were some people that were like, you know, we did see a couple signs that were like Kennedy for president.
Yes.
But then there were some people that were like, well, we are liberal and like most of the Kennedys are liberal, but this Kennedy is not.
Yeah.
And so we're not going to support just a Kennedy because he's a Kennedy. Like we're gonna, you know, support liberal policy.
Right. So that was my political aside for right now. But it was a lovely town. We walked around the shops. We did things. One of my favorite things that we did it actually just yesterday, the day before we were recording this, is we went to Sandwich, Massachusetts. Big fan
Dean Martin Sandwich.
Big fan of their food, for sure. I love a sandwich. That is my favorite food, and I can get it.
It is your favorite food. Mm-hmm.
You know I love a good sandwich.
Yeah.
Particularly a California chicken sandwich.
Yes. If it has chicken and avocado, you are in.
I am in. I love an herb aioli, honey. Oh, God.
I don't love sandwiches as much as you, but...
No, I am a big sandwich person.
Yes.
I love a peanut butter jelly. I you know, whatever fucking sandwich you make, I will love it, okay?
Go off, Queen.
Yeah. And we went to Sandwich, Massachusetts with my grandmother. And we went to the Heritage Gardens and Museum or
something like that.
Something like that.
But it was really cool. They had
Massachusetts.
Yeah, but it was really cool. They had old cars.
They did. They had antique cars.
A collection of like 100-year-old cars, which was very, very cool. And they're pristine.
Oh.
And then, sorry, I had a little hiccup.
Yeah.
And they also had like one of the oldest functional carousels, merry-go-rounds.
Yes.
And we got to ride it twice.
We did, and you know what? That was our first theme park ride together.
Ugh.
Can you believe
Here's
it?
so many more.
I know. Can you believe it? That was our first one.
And you know what's so funny about the carousel? Okay, because when we're playing Roller Coaster Tycoon, I never want to put the carousel in because the guests don't really like it that much.
I loved the carousel.
I had a blast.
I enjoyed myself. So, in fact, we will post a video of us on the carousel.
We were going up and down. We were going round and round.
My God, we were having the best time on that carousel. My grandma was on the carousel.
Yes, it was fun for the whole family.
It was fun for the whole family. And that is something I can appreciate in a park.
Yes. So we have to remember to put the carousels in because, you know, we want to create an atmosphere that's fun for the whole family.
Absolutely.
Just like the Heritage Gardens and Museums in Sandwich, Massachusetts.
Exactly. So, you know, if you have a chance to go to the Heritage Museum, you absolutely should. We had a wonderful time there. We had a wonderful day there.
There was also the maze.
Yes, they had a maze, which actually, I'm embarrassed to say this because if anyone listens to this and goes there and goes in that maze, they'll see that it's like, you know, it's a kid's maze.
It's tiny.
It's a tiny kid's maze. We got lost.
We did get a little lost. It was hard. It was hard in that maze.
The maze fooled us.
I think one of the reasons
stumped by the maze.
One of the reasons, though, that I think we got lost is because I thought there was a separate exit that we were looking for. Like, I was looking for a separate exit from the entrance.
I was trying to get us around the maze, like make the loop of the maze, but...
We did it. We got out.
We did get out, obviously, as we're sitting here, but
we're trapped in the maze.
But I will say there was a moment we were in the maze, and I didn't think we would get out. So...
You know, they had benches in there for people that
They had what in there? Benches.
Don't make fun of me.
No, I wasn't making fun of you. I was just clarifying what you were saying.
Benches.
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 Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Benches. is. Stupid.
For people that might want to take a break from the mental agility of solving the maze.
Yeah.
And sit and enjoy the atmosphere.
That's right. And my grandmother had a lovely time. We walked around and did so many fun little things there. It was really beautiful. It was such a lovely day.
And then we had burgers.
We had burgers,
which
at a wonderful
is a sandwich.
burger joint.
A burger is a sandwich.
Yes, it
so
is.
we had sandwiches in sandwich.
We did.
That's all I'm going to say.
Pretty iconic.
That's all I'm going to say.
And that was a lovely place too. Loved it.
What are these Massachusetts town names?
You know what?
There was another town called Mashpee.
Okay, well, I think that is a Native American tribal name.
Okay, didn't know that.
So you love it.
Love it. Love it. The Mashpees, love them.
But we did think it was a silly.
It was
name.
silly.
It was a little silly. To us.
Mashpee.
Yeah. But for someone who has spent a lot of time actively avoiding, I guess, being in Massachusetts.
Why avoiding?
Well, growing up here is like Massachusetts is bad guys. Like those are the bad people.
So yeah, like New Jersey versus Massachusetts. I mean, being from New York, it's the Yankees Red Sox feud.
Right. Like I had actively avoided Massachusetts. I don't like the accent. I'll say that.
Bastard.
I'm sorry if I offend anybody, but I don't like it.
We're going to Sandwich, Mashpee.
Yeah. And
Martha's Vineyard.
For somebody who has spent so long avoiding it, Larry doing horrible character.
I'm
acting.
sorry. Sometimes I could do it good. Maybe I need an accent coach.
Oh, yeah.
Should I go hire an accent coach to do some more accent work?
Here's my take, and I've said it before. If you're an actor, you should be able to do that because that is your profession.
Oh my God, I've never been more insulted.
That is your profession. If you can't nail an accent, then you're not right for the part.
I'm pretty good at accents when I work on a scene.
Okay. So
It's
let's workshop something right now.
Okay.
I want to hear you do Boston for me.
Well, I would need to okay.
Okay.
Well, give me something to say.
7 years ago.
7 years ago. That's not fair, Jacob. That's not fair. This is really not fair.
Oh my God.
Four score.
7 years ago.
You're not much better. You're
Well, I don't do
after
Boston.
me.
Boston's not my
I didn't
my
say
best
I
accent.
did Boston either.
I'm pretty good at Midwestern. I can do Midwestern
Okay,
pretty well.
do it.
Oh, hi there. Who's got the time?
Oh, hello.
You
That's
know.
a little Canadian.
Well,
7 years ago.
What is you're trying to do British?
No, that wasn't really British. I was
7 years ago.
hi.
Hi.
I love you.
I love you too. Can you do Irish?
No.
Can you try for me on the podcast?
Okay. 4 score. You have to R.
Farskar in
It's not
7
like
years
that.
ago.
It's not like that.
Farskar in 7 years ago.
4 score and 7 years ago. It's kind of like that a little bit, but not really.
Well, it's St. Patty's Day.
I hope that no one listens to this part.
On the contrary, I hope that everyone listens to
I
this
hope
part.
they've been tuned out.
And that I pull
God.
clips from this part specifically.
This is really embarrassing.
To post on social media.
I'm going to go spend thousands of dollars on an accent coach right now so I never have to deal with this again. This is so embarrassing.
Wow, what a great day we've had on the podcast here. By the way, you obviously can't smell it, but we have lit pumpkin spice candles.
It's really been a cozy episode. Maybe we
so
haven't been as
relaxed.
shouty. Maybe we haven't been as silly. But I hope that you've enjoyed just sitting and chatting and reminiscing with us for these lovely 59 minutes to 60 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I haven't been on many vacations in my life. And that's just a fact.
Well, honey, every day with me is a vacation.
That is a false. What's the opposite of a fact? A lie. That is a lie. That is not true at all.
Every day with me is relaxing, gorgeous vacation.
No, it's not. But I do love you, so hopefully that helps.
Every day with you is work. Work.
I feel the same way, honey. How would you know? You don't have a job.
Excuse me. I'm working late because I'm a singer. Excuse me.
We're out of pocket. But the whole thing I was trying to say, honey, was that I have not been on that many vacations in my life. And it's been, quite frankly, a while since I've like gone on a vacation and just kind of like done leisurely activities and not like ran around doing different things, you know? And I have to say, I am quite enjoying it.
Well, that is wonderful.
I feel like we should be taking vacations more often.
Well, like I said, every day with me is a vacation, and I'm happy to be here with you.
So just out of curiosity, how do you feel every day with me is?
It's work.
Okay, well, this has been fun. Thanks so much for listening. You can catch us on social media at Let's Talk About That Pod on Instagram and TikTok. Watch us on YouTube at Let's Talk About That Pod. Larry, shut up. We're going to have a chat right after this. And make sure if you have any questions, comments, anything, email us at Let's Talk About That Pod at gmail.com.
Great.
Did I hit all of it?
I think you did.
Okay,
and remember,
you're done. No. You're done.
Should we sign off in an accent?
Yeah, that's a good idea. How about we do Californian?
Okay. Thanks so much for listening, dude.
Yeah, it was so fun having you on the pod. And make sure you tune in next week for an awesome guest, dude.
An awesome guest,
We have one of our best guests ever coming on the pod next week.
And it's going to be super high energy, super fun. So we will see you next time on Let's Talk About That, bruh.